I listened to our past session.
Start the recording. Firstly, good morning. Thank you for joining. This is week 2, and firstly, I want to thank you. And I see your traction. Like when I go on YouTube, I see the views that I get, and I kind of made it exclusively for you so that no other person have access to that. And I just see that for now, you've watched it 11 times. 11 times. So
Actually took it off the.
oh, I see. Now I get.
I took it off the.
You want to
I took
own
it
it.
off.
All right. So I think that's how we go. That is how you roll. You will agree with me. The same thing you are picking from here. We talk about building the bridge and walking back the bridge by trying to explain. I was once X, Y, and here I am. Even what we're doing currently is going to be part of your story system. You're going to incorporate it into your program. At some point, I struggled. I was not sure with this. But you know what? I did this. That's why it's always good. If you mean it, put your money where your mouth is. Take action on what you really say you mean. I did this because I needed to be here. So I can only imagine when you stand in front of 5,000 people, whether live or hybrid or online, to say, I did X, Y, Z. Why did I do that? I found that there was this that I need to get past before I get to this point, or before I'm able to stand before every one of you. And once I did that, here I am. That's what people want to know about. They want to know how you were able. While I was in Durban, one of my coaching students, very successful, doing very well in Johannesburg, called me and I was like, I'm in job. I was like, can I join you? And I'm like, I think it was such a short notice. No, I like to be your reference. I want them to see when you picked me from like, I was giving up. This lady was thinking of suicide. Somehow we work. I told her I don't give money. I'm not even going to do any work for you. Whatever we have to do, we will work together. If you are given a task, do the task. If you are asked to jump, just jump. Don't even question. Jump. And then the more you jump, if the first jumping doesn't work, maybe the second will work. The third might work, or the fourth. We will always come back to re-strategize. That's all we need to do. It's just about 5 years later, and she's amazing. She represents the United States Department of, I think, Research on Politics, whatever, here in South Africa. And every time she stayed on stage, she was always like, "Ooh, there was a guy who helped me at the point where I was about giving up." So this same story, you too will have it. You will share it. You're going to tell people like, I was at so point, but today look at where I am. Remember what we say. That's what people want to connect with. And I'm happy also even talking about psychology of consumption today. All right, let me just pull up my slide and see how we roll now. Okay, this is going to be like a continuation of where we stopped last week. Can you see me? Can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see it. Great. Yes, I can see this.
All right. So week 2, we are looking at predictable prospecting and consumer psychology. And when we talk about predictable prospecting and consumer psychology, it's just about understanding sales. This whole thing is all about selling. And why this is so important is you cannot sell to people you don't know, people who don't trust you, people who don't even believe in you, and are not thinking alike. So to run, we say, what is the predictable prospecting? Predictable prospecting is just a simple way to say you are building something like you have a clear-cut understanding of what you want to do. That's simple. And you want to be able to say, this is how I need to achieve A. So for example, you're on this program because you want to achieve something. So it makes it more predictable. What is the predictability there? Once I am done with this, I will be able to be 10 times more of who I am. Now, let's bring it back to sell. I can maybe just try to paint a picture like someone who wants to go somewhere. You want to travel somewhere, and imagine if you don't have a GPS. Like you who travels wide that I know, you don't have a GPS and you're in a new space you don't know, a new environment. How do you navigate from point A to point B? Now, you can actually go head blindly and just do try and error and still arrive at your destination. But here's what is going to happen. That's going to be like a guessing work, one. There's going to be a lot of mistakes on the way, two. There will be a lot of loss of time because you're just going, oh, you're heading here. They said, no, oh, you passed. You need to go back. Now, all of those try and error take a chunk of your time, a chunk of who or what you could have been, or what extent you could have accumulated. Now, the opposite of such is when you have a predictable blueprint. Maybe say a GPS. You have a GPS that, okay, I'm going to Santin, for example. From the airport, this is how I navigate straight to the airport. So you have a clear understanding. Now, what is going to be the advantage of a predictable system or a predictable process, strategy, planning, is that it saves your time. You won't lose so much chunk of opportunity along the way. You would even have it like quicker and faster. That's really in a nutshell what a predictable prospecting is about. Now, we're looking at sales. Predicting that you are able to hit a certain number, maybe in a month, maybe in a year or a quarter, depending on how you want to plan or strategize and launch out. You don't want to just go and be second guessing. You don't want to just be doing a trial and error, maybe it will work. You don't want to randomly just be talking to everyone. You want to be so specific. You want to know who your ideal clients are. How do they look like? What kind of thinking? That's where the consumer psychology comes in. How do they think? The reason is this. So even when you are building a team, you are not just doing this for yourself. You are doing it for your team. So you know who your team should be engaging with. You know who. As a business coach, there are people, if I open my personal Facebook, LinkedIn, almost on a daily basis, I am getting, please can you coach me? Please can you do this? Can you do that? There are people I don't even waste time with. There are people you can see from out of the can you can literally see who is not ready by 1, 2, 3 questions you ask. That's predictable. So now it may be like questioning to trim down your leads. It might be some action survey that you had to put out there and say, complete this. Or it might be, can you do X, Y, Z, or ask the question, whichever format. All of this is to give you a kind of smooth sail. So when you launch, I understand, like we chatted even before now, selling itself is, a lot of people say it's difficult, it's hard. We all know, we agree. But it is harder when you don't even know who you're selling to, who are your ideal clients, what they think, how they look like, what they want, where they hang out, what kind of messaging resonates with them. Do they like phone calls or do they like chats? When you don't even have a clear picture, are the people you want to pull out of lack, they are poor, you want to empower them, or they are in a semi-comfortable level, but you want to take them to the next level? Who are these people? So when this picture is clear, it helps. So here I put the most effective way for a company to reach its revenue growth, creating a customized sales strategy that reflects their true character. It reflects the concerns of the people they want. Now, this understanding, both the psychology of how they think, how they behave, who they look at, all of these things help in your predictable prospecting. And we all know that when we talk about prospecting and leads, they're not the same thing. In fact, the two is not even sales. Sales is that one that eventually put the money in your account. That's when you say, we have a client. Every other thing is just, we're still trying, we're still looking for how. But again, like I started, or I gave an instance that it makes sense if we are very clear about how we want to go or pursue what we want to do or what you intend to do before even launching out. It saves time. It even makes you to achieve your goal faster and maybe jump go do every other thing than to do try and error. So what is a sales strategy? Because that's what a predictable prospecting is about. It's coming up with a clear-cut strategy and how to create it. So the question here is, what is a sales strategy? Why should we even why will anyone think of creating it in the first place? So the reason why we need to create one, let's just go. Sales strategy is a living document, like I've explained, your GPS. It is what you use to navigate. It's your document that outlines your sales targets. It defines your specific actions, what to do, who to do, and for who. It is a roadmap for where you want to go, what you want to achieve in a specific time, month, quarter, or a year. That's all what we talk about. Strategy. Some use some clever words, effective strategy, out of the moon strategy, whatever. As long as it ends with strategy, it's all simple. It's a living document. It's an outline that helps you spell out exactly what you want and how you can really navigate that space. Now, the next thing is, let's look at consumer psychology. I think I'm moving too fast now. What is the consumer psychology? Simple. Consumer psychology is a kind of specialty that studies how our thoughts, beliefs, feelings, perception, influence, whatever, how, at what point people make a buying decision. And why people or anyone would prefer maybe you to the other person. Why this shop and not the other one? Why should I join your team and not the other team? Why should I care about what you have to offer? So this whole thing about psychology is in the mind. It happens. Why is it important that you need to know the mind of your prospects? Why is it important? Like I said, this form part of your prospecting guidelines, so you're not wasting time. One of the reasons, yes, I agree that sales are difficult sometimes, but it's even more difficult because sometimes a lot of people are selling to the wrong people, people who have zero need of the services. Perhaps they just say, wow, it is a good thing. Wow, I like it. Over time, I've tried to explain, especially if you're into content development, where I tell people you should be able to know who your clients and your fans are. These are two different people. Client and fans, F-A-N-S.
Yeah.
Fans. Now, the clients are the one who eventually buy. The fans are just, they just cheer you up. They just cheer you. You release a new product. You do a new design. You post a new content. You held a conference. They are there. Like, wow. Okay, this product is going for $1. And everybody keep quiet. They're shaking out. That's fans for you. Majority of the fans don't always buy, but they are there. You need them. So it's not like we don't need them. You need them. They become like your messengers. They become like your evangelists. They become like the people who, your forerunners, who go out there. Have you heard of? Have you listened to him? They share your content online. They even tell their friends about it. So we need them. But as a good salesperson, it is important that you know to what extent do I focus on my fans, and to what extent do I give in to the clients, the ones who can buy. Because you can share all that you share with fans, and at the end, they will not buy. They just love you, they like you, and they just want to go with you. That's all. So it's important for you to, when you're coming up with your sales strategy or planning, not just to plan, But take time to understand, but who are the people I want to work with? Or maybe not that. As a company, what are the values we represent? You don't need to say that you cannot work with everyone. Come on, what's wrong with my stuff? Okay, in case this goes up, I think maybe we'll just log in with the same link.
Okay.
All right. So consumer behavior, like I said, here we have customers' experiences, word of mouth, recognition, purchase, all of these form behavior. People buy because their friend told them. People buy because they saw it on TV. People buy because of trust, because of the brand you become. People buy because of some other social factor. There are a whole lot of factors that influences why people make buying decisions. And the most important are these four key components. One, what is their client's motivation? What motivates them? We need to understand that. What is the thing that inspires them, that want to make them to want to buy? And then you look at the perception. How do they perceive you, and how do you also perceive them? What is their learning ability like? Are these people well learned, or they are just the average? Are they the kind of people you throw anything to and will not ask the questions? People differs, reasoning differs, and again, we look at their attitude and their beliefs. Don't forget, mindset do a whole lot of all of these components we're talking about. Their attitude and their beliefs, the environment, the schooling environment they find themselves, their religion. I was speaking in Durban where I talked about, you won't be surprised when you find people don't understand an opportunity. So you are introducing something new to them. Rather than someone pause and ask, does this thing work? And maybe how can I play a role, or how can I even know more? I'm sure you may have heard it. When people don't quickly understand a thing, so especially something new, they discard it, not just discarding it, they label it as scam. Have you not had that kind of experience? They quickly call something they don't know a scam. The question is,
why did it take me 20-something years to become a networker?
That
Called it a scam.
That is. So because of those kind of mindsets, you need to know to what extent is this person I'm dealing with. So it arms you in terms of your preparation, so you don't even like waste time with who this person is, what kind of person he is, what motivates this person, and then you are even able to walk around such person. Again, you cannot service everyone. You're not going to be a messiah to everyone, but are those who connect with your story, your message, that would want to plug it. These are the people you want. I knew I did mention leads, prospect, and customers. Leads are just what you go out there, for example, create your marketing awareness, and people just hear about you. You send all those contents, whether video, writing, whatever form, publicity on TV, whatever form, you throw these things out, and then you wait for people to now begin to come in like a prospect. Now, it's from leads to get to prospect. Prospect is, they have seen your message, they have seen your ad, they have seen your video, whatever thing, promotional advert, whatever it is, however you do it, maybe cold calling, you did a phone call, or you sent an email. So the awareness is out there. And now someone one day just pick up the phone and say, hello, are you Mr. XYZ, or are you of this company? Yes. I saw this XYZ. It sounds like something I would like to know more about. And then you do what? You start prospecting. So you now take it beyond just the first layer to the second layer, where you now give the person an opportunity to now know more about it. And most times, in fact, this is where good salespeople kill the deal. It is while you're prospecting, you have to be technical, like we spoke last week, to understand what are the key words that I need to use. What do I incorporate into even while I'm trying to explain or provide understanding, just so you don't waste your time. There's nothing as bad as entertaining people without even an intention of closing. If the intention is to close, You walk the bridge.
Just give me just 1 minute. Let me close my door.
Okay, great.
Sorry about that.
Great.
There is a noise coming in.
Now, in this prospecting formula, like I said, this is where you know what word. Last week I said there's no need to busy just entertaining people when you don't have the intention to close the deal. If the intention is that I want to make sure that I get this deal, then from the word go, from when you open your mouth, you already know what formula to use. Amplify. So if you did a good study about who your likely clients are, what their problems are, what motivates them, what struggle, you now know how to incorporate their problems, their needs into your presentation. And then that's why it's also important to get to know about what they are facing, what level they are. So if, for example, I talk about the middle class, you're trying to pull them maybe to another higher level. You keep using words like, are you satisfied with the level you are? Do you know that if you don't take any step today, 10 years from now, you will be the same exact person you are, nothing changing. But for anything to change, you must make a decision. It is the decision we make that shapes our life, not the change of calendar here, like it becomes a new year or new, like it is the decision we make that changes life.
Coach, please pardon me. Please pardon me. I'm in the office and there are some people visiting. Let me tell somebody to take care of them.
Sure,
please,
sure.
1 minute, please.
I'll pause now.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Just 1 minute, yeah? Okay. Sorry about that.
Great. So it's all about the better understanding of what you want to do while prospecting. Then you now know how to run with it. Again, there's no need to waste time. Yes, some people might label you that you are mean. Some people may not like your style, but ultimately, there's no need wasting any time to entertain anyone when you can, maybe from the first two questions you ask, see this person is not even interested, cannot buy. So there's no need for that. Now, we all know that sales is in a circle. It goes with the prospecting, it goes with the lead generation, it goes with the qualifying, it goes with the sales presentation like you normally do, depending on whatever platform you use to do your presentation. And then how do you handle objection in the presentation? How do I deal with when people say I'm not interested, or this look like a scam, or these things, they have eaten a lot of people's money, people lose this money, all of those things. Now, the understanding of how it works helps you from the word go. Now, you starting with, you already know. That's why the psychology of how and what people think is very important, even before you start the sales presentation, before you even want to try to bring them on board or whatever product or whatever you want to persuade or sell them to get them in. Deal with the objections. Now, you can deal with those objections in your presentation. How? For example, people that always doubt, they don't believe any new thing. How about you look for maybe powerful quotes that you know is life-touching? 10 years ago, can you look back at the things that if you know now what you did, with what you now know, you would do differently? I tell you that question every time I ask it is a killer. 5 years ago, are the things that you now know from what you did, that if you now, with the understanding of you are right now, you would do it differently. People always say yes. Another 10 years will come. Another 5 years will come. The difference between standing here right now, looking back at your 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 or 2 years ago, and you feeling regrets of some action you never took, things you never did, or things you would have wanted to do differently, is because you now know better. Are you going to wait another 5 years, another 10 years? to now correct yourself on something that you can do differently now. What has changed? What has changed is that you've gotten more information. More information that have now armed you, that you now like, oh, that